Hi everyone, it's Vicki here. Today I am designing for Bramble Fox and I'm super excited to be on the team. This is my very first layout for them, and they make these fantastic acrylic perspectives, as they call them. So there's an X in there, but it's a play on perspectives. So, and they're super cute. So I've got a couple there, Smile and Sweet, and I've got some of Paige Evans' Pick Me Up collection and a cute little photo of my niece smiling. So what I'm doing is I've decided to take this smile, which is in a frame, and put it on top of the photo, and I'm using glossy accents there to help it stick. And I'm just letting it off to one side just to make sure it's stuck down really, really well. And now I'm going to, my idea is to put a patchwork onto the page. So I just cut up all the squares from that paper from Pick Me Up, and I'm just picking out the ones I want to use. So you'll see in a second what I'm thinking here. I've done this sort of thing before with the layering up of the squares, and it's really effective for using lots of offcuts of paper. I know this isn't offcuts, but you could easily do this with offcuts that coordinates. So I'm just arranging them on the page, and you can see that's sort of the kind of look I'm going for, albeit a messy version of. So I'm just putting all these little squares in place now, so that you can see it's sort of a patchwork effect and they all overlap. And I'm happy with how that looks, so I'm just going to push those up the page and start to stick them down. So I'm just sticking them at the top so that at the end of sticking I can ruffle up the bottom just to add some extra dimension. So you'll see what I mean with that in a second. So sticking them all down. The key is to stick on top, keep going on top, don't ever tuck underneath, otherwise the curling up of the edges won't work very well. So every one that I place goes on top of others. Okay, and I'm putting them all down. I'm not wanting the top to be perfectly square. I just want it to be nice and random. There you go, and I curled up the edges. You can see that just adds a bit more dimension to the page. Now this paper here is just covered in cute little butterflies which coordinate with all the papers. So I'm just going to cut some of those out, and you won't have to watch all that. By the power of video, we will skip through a lot of that, but there I go, just cutting out the first one. And then we'll cut through. So I cut out a selection of those, and I want to just place them around onto the squares. So I didn't use any real embellishments apart from a couple of these tags that I'm just putting in just from the Pick Me Up embellishment die cuts pack, and the butterflies that I cut. I didn't really use any other embellishments. I wanted the words to be the main focus of this, and I wanted the eyes to be drawn there to the photo and the words. So here's another die cut tag that I'm just putting there. And I try out a couple of other things, but they don't really work, so I just leave it as it is. Okay, so I'm just going to stick down these, make sure everything's stuck down. That one was a bit wonky, so I re-stick that. Made a mess of the white card, but because it went back over the top, it was not noticeable. Now I just pull out some Shimmers Vibe spray that I have in, it's called Well Blew Me Down, and then this second spray that I use is Heidi Swap Gold Colour Shine. So I'm just doing some splatters with both of those all over. Just drying those up a bit with my paper towel so that I can continue working on putting the photo down. There we go. So I'm going to start to stick the photo down now that the frame is stuck onto the photo itself. And I just wanted that pop of colour above the photo, even though I didn't have any of the patchwork there. I just wanted to have a bit of colour up there because the frame was white. So I want it to really show out and not be on top of the white card. And then the word sweet goes right onto the papers there. Okay, so I'm just sticking down a couple more butterflies, and then in a second I'll stick down the word sweet. I'm just sort of trying to play with the position, make sure I'm happy with that. Okay, And then finally, I just do a few more splatters. I think it just needs a few more at the top there. So a few more gold and a few more of the blue just on there. And then that's done. And there's the final layout. I hope it gives you some inspiration for using your February Fox box. And there are some close-ups coming up for you to see. This is my first Bramble Fox layout, but it won't be my last. So please check back and subscribe to my channel for future videos. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.